Hey, if you're looking to start a catering company and you need a set of financial projections for a potential investor or lender, then you've come to the right place because we have built a financial projection template built specifically for catering companies. I'm going to walk you through this spreadsheet, show you how to fill it out, and show you how to create a 5-year forecast. Now, a little bit about me. My name is Adam Hoeksema. I'm the co-founder of ProjectionHub, and over the last decade, we've helped over 50,000 entrepreneurs create financial projections for all sorts of different businesses, for potential investors, lenders, and just internal business planning and forecasting. In this video, I'm focused specifically on our catering template. I put a link to the template in the description of the video below. And also, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you access to a coupon code that you can use as a thank you for listening and sticking around. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so we're kind of starting here at the end of the process. So this is our profit and loss at a glance tab where we have some key tables, graphs, use of funds, some sales graphs, and key ratios. You'll also get a 5-year income statement summary here, a 5-year cash flow summary, and a 5-year balance sheet summary. And then you'll get an income statement, cash flow statement, and balance sheet statement all broken down by month for each of the 5 years. So this will be helpful if you are looking to get an SBA loan, for example. All right, so in order to produce all these reports, though, we have a little bit of work to do in terms of entering in our assumptions. So I'm going to start in the Input Assumptions tab here, and we've got a catering business that we're starting. We're saying we're going to put in a personal investment of $20,000 here. So one thing to note is that every cell that's highlighted in light blue throughout the model is an assumption that you can change. So we put in an assumption of a $20,000 personal investment to help get the business off the ground, beginning inventory of $2,500, fixed assets, maybe you're leasing a kitchen space and you had to do some leasehold improvements. So there's $15,000 in leasehold improvements, $15,000 in equipment, and $10,000 in furniture. And then maybe you got a loan, a $100,000 loan over 5 years, 6.5% to help with the startup costs. All right, so now moving on to our input revenue. Now this is really pretty straightforward. We just have the number of catering orders per month that you expect to get, and then an annual growth rate. So we're starting out saying, hey, we think we're going to have 75 catering orders. We're going to grow that 10% per year. We think the average revenue per catering event is going to be $400. And then we can put in the average cost of the food per catering event and the average labor cost per catering event. And you can have growth rates with those as well. So that will give you your total catering revenue, and then we've also calculated catering food cost and labor cost. All right, so now we're going to move to the direct labor tab. And this tab is probably not going to need to be used very much for a catering business. The template that we're using here actually has the ability to put a full restaurant. And so that's what this tab is primarily typically used for, would be for restaurant assumptions. But again, since we've kind of adjusted this template specifically for catering, the main thing you'll want to note here is this employee hourly rate and the minimum number of employees per hour that you would expect to have for the number of hours that you're open. And so again, for catering, we put all of our labor cost over here. So the only reason you would need this to use these assumptions would be if you have staff that are kind of like back at the kitchen, preparing the food for all of the different events, and then kind of sending staff out to the particular events from there. You could put kind of the centralized kitchen staff in this table. So you could put in, what that employee hourly rate is, how many hours you think that centralized kitchen is going to be open and need to be staffed, and then the minimum number of employees that you'd expect to have during that time. So we'll move on to our input other expenses here. And here we can just enter in things like advertising, accounting, point of sale services. So if probably you're not going to be using like a credit card reader for a catering event because you're getting paid by the kind of end customer, not the individual people that are eating at the event, right? But maybe you have a bar that you bring also to the catering event, and maybe that is a cash bar or something, and people are paying there. You might have a point of sale system, and you'd also have credit card fees. So you could put in, if you did have credit card fees, you could assume 0.02 is the same as saying 2%, so 2% of the total catering revenue. All right, so you can pick the drop down here and make it a percentage of revenue, and then that way it would just assume that your customers are paying you a credit card, and you're going to have that 2% credit card fee, right? You also have the ability to add insurance cost, rent, supplies, utilities, internet and phone, if that's relevant for your situation. All right, and then again, we have spots for labor on the input revenue and cost of goods sold tab, the direct labor tab, but if you have salaried positions as well, and maybe that's just one kind of manager, business manager, you could put in that salaried position here. You can select what month they start and end, and the number of that particular type of employee. So for example, if you had like shift managers and you had 3 shift managers, you could just type in here, you could just type in 3 and it would multiply that salary cost by 3. All right, so that is everything you'll need to do to create a 5-year forecast for your catering business. And you can see here that we've got your profit and loss at a glance. You can see what your revenue, cost of goods sold, gross profit would be. And you can see that in the first year, we're projecting a net loss, but growing to an 18% net income over time over the 5-year forecast. You can also see how you'll use your initial startup funds. All right, so that's really it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out at support@ProjectionHub.com. And again, as a thank you for sticking around to watch the whole video, there is a link to a form in the description of the video below. And you'll be able to fill out that form and get a coupon code that you can use at checkout to get a discount on this particular template. So please take advantage of that. And again, if you have any questions at all, leave a comment in the comment section below or reach out to us directly at support@ProjectionHub.com and we'll be happy to help. Thanks.